My pastor, Pastor T.H.Moore, Terry Howard Moore of Capital Baptist Church, is of great significance and importance to my life. He is responsible for exciting or awakening in me the strong desire to learn. I'd say I had it. I had a love for knowledge, for just digging into and exploring things and understanding the world around me. But he really, coming here, my current home, Dover, Delaware, and arriving 1st of October 2007 till now as a young airman in the Air Force was huge. Coming here was huge because now I've grown up in church. Been to, oh gracious, it's got to be 20 different churches. I have a list on my phone. Grew up a military brat. My dad was in the Air Force, and we were faithful church attenders from before I was born. Moved about 28 different times, lived in several other countries, but I've been a full-time member for at least 6 months or longer of a church, 12 different churches. 12 different churches in my life. And these are only counting the ones I remember. I'm not counting the ones from back when I was too young to remember. So I've been a member of 12 different churches, but I've visited regularly. This would be at least a month of attending or more. 21 churches, so including the 12, of course. But Pastor Moore, in my experience, stands out above the rest. Now, I have had a couple other pastors that were really good, and it's possible, if God had willed it and I had been stationed near those churches, that they would have turned out to be great pastors as well. But God chose to put me here in Dover under the mentorship of Pastor Moore, and it has been phenomenal because ever since 2007, I have learned so much. I definitely consider Pastor Moore a mentor, a spiritual father. In my book, he's one of my heroes. He did something different that most pastors didn't. He really excited in a lot of people the truths, just the knowledge of really understanding, really grasping Christianity, the Bible, the truths of the Bible, the history of the Bible. He's the one who introduced me to Dr. Hovind's Creation Seminar. This has been huge in just understanding the science behind the Bible. I took his classes here at the Institute, many of his classes. I've thoroughly enjoyed them. He's the one who got me to understand Baptist history and to know our heritage, where we come from. It's huge. Whatever I do in the future, wherever I go, whatever influence I have on other people, Pastor Moore has had a huge impact on my life. I will not soon forget it. I doubt I'll ever forget it. It's been a very positive influence. And I'd say we've become friends over the years. I was blessed to be able to get to hang out one-on-one with him, spend a lot of time at him, at his home. That's where he introduced me to the Kent Hovind series back when I first came here. Got to know each other really well, got to know his kids really well. And I must say, of all the pastors' kids I've known, and I've known quite a few, the 12 different churches I've been a member, his are the best pastors' kids I've ever known. The best. I don't know why. Well, maybe I do. From a spiritual point of view, Satan's going to attack the leadership of a church. And I can remember going way back. Just things that would happen, things that would occur. Of course, the younger I was, it'd be more relying on what my parents would be saying. But there would be pastors' kids that would, turn astray. Pastor Moore's kids have not. They're raising good families. It just speaks volumes, how parents' children turn out. And it also speaks volumes, the effect that he's had. I know personally, just firsthand experience, that he's just a great teacher. He's powerful in the Word of God, in the pulpit. And I've had the privilege of meeting many people in Dover as we go visiting. Just this last week, it happened again. We had another old lady say, "Oh, I really like your pastor's preaching. Your pastor really preaches the Word." And he does. He teaches the Word. Many Sundays and Wednesdays, we go there. I take notes. Every single time I take notes. And I keep track of them. Now, this is a little stack that I need to download onto the computer, but I keep them on my computer. I have it all organized in files, and that's going to be a huge help to me in the future. I take notes of any speaker that comes to church, but obviously the majority of my notes are from Pastor Moore, and they're going to be a huge help, spiritually speaking, in the future to mentoring and training others. They already have been a help. I've already referenced my notes a number of times in the past, answering questions from people at work. Currently, as I help just edify and encourage my fellow brethren, those who are stationed overseas, those who are here. I was in the Air Force, so I have several military friends. But it has been just a huge blessing and a giant impact on my life. Coming here to Dover, being under the mentorship, under the influence of Pastor Moore. I'd like to think that we would agree on a lot of things. I have this idea in my head that we would agree. If we would sit down and just go through everything from the Bible and life and standards, we'd probably agree on something like 87% of everything. I don't know, that's a guess. But we would, on most things, we would be right there. We would have the same standards, the same understanding. We both, and that's because we both trust in the same book. We both trust in our King James Bible, because we believe that this is where God has verbally, plenarily inspired and preserved his word. This is, an English Bible, 1611 translation, 1769 edition, King James or Authorized Version Bible. And that's key, as I've talked about in my King James video, because of the text. The text is the issue. The King James is the best. It's where all the new versions, and again, you can take a look at my other video for a more in-depth explanation, but all the other new versions are based on the wrong text. That's just the bottom line. I really got that knowledge and understanding and was able to access. I have books now because I've learned which resources to buy, and I've been able to study, to verify, and to prove that I can trust my Bible. I can trust the Word of God like no other book. This is the ultimate source for me and for Pastor Moore, which is why we agree on so many things. We trust in this Bible. We believe that it teaches salvation through grace alone, through faith, not of works. We don't believe in any works. We just trust in the way the Bible teaches. Salvation is through Jesus Christ, his sacrificial gift. We trust in baptism. It's for the saved person. Immersion. We trust in and believe in so many of the same things. I could make a huge list, but I won't at this point. This video, in a sense, is for historical purposes. Whatever I do in the future, here and now, this is a record that I have great appreciation for Pastor Moore and the influence he's had on my life. Very soon, I'll be moving on to a new chapter in life, and I won't be able to be here at Dover, at least not for a while. But I will never forget the influence that this pastor has had, and I'm sure many other church folk would say the same. It's been a huge blessing to be under his mentorship and teaching. I'm very glad that God put me here in Dover, and Lord willing, I'll be able to meet other great pastors in the future who will help. I truly believe that if all American pastors were more like my pastor, Pastor Moore, America would be in a better state. I hear all the time, I read articles, I watch the news, independent news. I don't trust mainstream news at all. And some of the news sources, they're Christian based, and sometimes they'll give reports on churches. Again, and here, just in the city of Dover, talking with other people who go to other churches in the area. Here in the city limits alone, there's around 16, 17 Baptist churches. And Baptists are supposed to be people of the book. The Muslims know we're people of the book. I was watching an interview. Benny Hinn knows. The Baptists, they preach the book. They teach the Bible. Everybody knows. But there's a lot of Baptist churches that don't teach the Bible. Not the way Pastor Moore does. He gets you excited about this book. He gets you into it. There's a sermon notes from this morning. Are we seeing clearly? Pastor Moore definitely helps us see clearly. It is a great benefit to be under his teaching. I'm very thankful for my pastor.